Hello, and thank you for joining our webinar on building a world-class sales engine. Now, there have been thousands of books and articles written about the art of selling and what it takes to be a great salesperson. There's also been hundreds of books and articles written about top-performing world-class sales teams and organizations and what they do and what are their best practices. What I have found throughout my career in sales and sales leadership, what I found is that there are basically four components that are the pillars of a successful sales organization. My name is David Schlossberg, business advisor for the Ferguson Alliance. Our firm's passion is helping family businesses grow and prosper. Joining me today is my colleague, Rob Ferguson. Also not here today, but part of our team is Brandy Merrick. All three of us have worked multiple decades in family businesses as executives, shareholders, or board members. So as we progress through my presentation today, if you have a question, please feel free to type those into the chat. Rob and I will be monitoring those to see if we need to address anything right away during the presentation. If not, we will take some time at the end to answer any questions you may have. Also, feel free to drop in the chat any tips or ideas, suggestions that you may have for the group as it pertains to this topic. Collective group sharing is always so helpful, and we want to take advantage of anything that you'd like to share with the group. So please feel free to do that. Great sales organizations are supported by the executives leading the company. The sales organization has to have a champion at the executive level and must be seen as bringing value to the entire organization. Even with production-driven business models, as in a manufacturing business, for example, someone on that leadership team or executive team has got to be an advocate for the sales organization. Their role is to keep the rest of the team, the leadership team, up to date on the sales strategy and progress that the sales team is making against their goals. They are the cheerleaders for the sales team. I served in that role on several leadership teams throughout my career. And what I've learned from those experiences is just how important it is for the sales leader to advocate for and consistently promote the value that the sales organization, the sales team is delivering to the company. And you got to do it almost like a mantra, daily, weekly, monthly, and on a quarterly basis. These sales execs or sales leaders have ongoing communication and of the strategic direction to the sales team. So in addition to communicating up the ladder to the exec team, it was also my role to effectively communicate to the sales team the organizational strategy, as well as the role that sales plays in it. Everyone on the team must be clear on what that strategy is and how it relates to them and to the sales team. With a strong understanding of where senior leadership wants to go, sales leaders can drive the desired behaviors in the daily selling activities of the reps. High-performance sales teams aren't just defined by the year-over-year revenue gains and profitability. Rather, they share fundamental characteristics beyond their performance metrics. So for example, top performing sales teams are usually diverse. And what do we mean by diverse? Each salesperson on the team isn't a clone of the others, quite the opposite. A great sales team is made up of individuals with unique and complementary talents, skills, experiences, and expertise. They play to their own strengths, even as they work as a team. Diversity is the sign of balance, of course, and balance is another critical trait of a top sales team. Great teams are lean and efficient, comprised of just the right mix of specialists and generalists, or you could say hunters and farmers, outside and inside sales reps, and also are supported by a customer-centric customer service team. In a balanced sales team, territories and workloads are balanced, but not necessarily evenly distributed. It is important to match the market potential of a unique traits of the territory with the skill sets of the sales rep that's serving that unique sales territory and that group of customers. Most importantly, superior sales teams work as a team. All contributors know that a rising tide lifts all boats, so they maintain a collaborative mindset and find ways to help one another succeed. If, as the leader, if I've done my job, everyone on that sales team embraces their role in executing on their individual goals. And these goals, if achieved, will all roll up into the overarching goal for the team. Sales leaders are coaches. Sales leaders cultivate a culture that celebrates success and also learns from each other's failures. Sales leaders nurture a culture that encourages and incentivizes teamwork. They advocate always for their sales team. And sales leaders must be excellent communicators. They must be able to articulate the vision for the sales team. And they are consistently and frequently communicating to the team and with individual team members. Sales leaders are enthusiastic, positive people. They have a deep understanding of the sales process and the brand. And of course, they are great coaches. All sales organizations must have a sales pipeline and a funnel as part of their sales process. So what is the difference between a sales funnel and a sales pipeline? Sales funnels track the customer experience with each step of their journey, from the initial point of contact all the way through to their desire to purchase your product or service and also to want to continue to do business with your company. A sales pipeline, on the other hand, maps out each step of the sales process. A well-defined sales process is absolutely critical to build a repeatable sales engine. A clear definition of the sales stages in that sales process and the exit criteria. So in other words, what initiates moving from one sales stage to another drives and keeps the pipeline's integrity. Further, these sales targets must closely mirror the customer journey to provide the right checklist for the sales teams to consistently drive an opportunity to close. This also ensures that the sales teams are driving the right set of activities needed to move an opportunity along to the next stage in the pipeline. The pipeline and the customer experience sales funnel becomes the driver for all internal and external conversations between the sales rep and you, the sales leader, and the customer. The data inputs from the pipeline provide the outputs, in other words, sales reports, that generate the dashboards used by the sales organization to measure progress and provide critical information for executives to have visibility into the business, all of which could be leading indicators for the team's performance. And finally, a consistent process enables the business leaders to make key investment decisions, for example, adding resources, given that the pipeline is healthy. In my experience as a sales leader, all of my conversations were teed up with a discussion relating to the dashboard. The dashboard, if I was having a one-on-one with a sales rep, we would talk about those key indicators that particular sales rep was looking at on his dashboard. If it was to the executive team, we would be looking at the key indicators for the sales team's performance on their dashboards, customized for their use. So here's a quick look at a typical dashboard. And these dashboards are using data to measure performance. The sales team, and this is really important, you've got to get sales team buy-in and collaboration to work closely together with sales leadership to map out what the various dashboards look like. What is the relevant information that your sales teams and sales individuals need in order to be successful. And these dashboards are linked to data that's updated in real time. So anybody on that team, or even in the entire organization, can look at these dashboards and see in real time what's going on with the business. It's also important to note that these metrics should be as automated as possible and ideally be measured through your CRM, customer relationship management system. So something like Salesforce, for example. Because every hour a sales rep spends manually collecting key performance indicators is an hour they are not spending with customers. So the more you can automate the process, the better. And also, the more likely you'll get buy-in and participation from your sales team. So let's take a look at key things in hiring and selecting salespeople, and what it is that makes salespeople successful, and what are we looking for top-level talent. Top sales organizations have an assessment and selection process in place that ensures only top talent is brought into the organization. Salespeople are hired based on their fit to the sales role and the sales environment. Sales managers, hey, they're hired and promoted based on their ability to lead and coach, not because they're top sales performers. A good salesperson has more to offer customers than the typical exciting sales pitch that everybody thinks about when they think about a salesman. They are enthusiastic individuals with resilience, and they take the time to get to know their customers' needs. They show empathy, they ask questions, and they listen. They also know how to handle rejection and learn from their losses. Here are some key behaviors and habits that great salespeople have. They have an appreciation for the big picture. Top performing salespeople may seem to be laser focused on meeting quotas or closing deals, but the best of them keep their eyes on the bigger prize. They understand how their granular level performance contributes to the big pictures and the company's success. They are focused on goals and quotas. Of course, a big picture perspective doesn't obscure the importance of meeting individual and team goals. Superior salespeople keep both perspectives in balance. They are accountable and they are driven to succeed. They are self-leading and self-motivating. For top sales performers, their drive to succeed isn't due to external pressure or even incentives. It is rather a primary and an internal drive. They are self-starting and self-leading. They are driven, and they find their motivation mainly in their pride for doing things right and making a difference. They are competent, capable, and compliant. Doing things right is a sign of competence and capability, of course, but the top salespeople also do the right things. This is partly about their commitment to ethics, but it is also about compliance. They are team players following proven sales processes and effectively use the company's CRM program. They are personable, relatable, reputable, and trustworthy. Salespeople who build a successful career make that happen by being personable with customers. They have an easy rapport that makes them a pleasure to do business with. With these personality-based building blocks in place, along with a commitment to follow through and hard work, top salespeople have trustworthy reputations that bolster their success. And if I may share my own personal experience, having had a 30+ year career in sales, one of the things I'm most proud of in my sales career is the ability to look back and connect with former colleagues, former customers and clients that I've had over the years. And we still are able to pick up the phone and have a conversation and check in and actually genuinely enjoy each other's company and conversation. So building those lasting relationships is based on having integrity and developing that rapport where your clients and customers feel that they can trust you. And if you're able to do that, you will be wildly successful in your sales career. Salespeople are adaptable and trainable. Even with all of the other traits in place, all the traits above in place, the best salespeople know one thing above all. They always have plenty to learn. With this humble attitude, they embrace self-improvement and ways to do their job at a higher level. So next, I want to discuss what are some of the biggest mistakes that leaders make when building a sales team. So here I've highlighted 9 of them. You know, sales is the lifeblood of any business. Beating the sales plan deals optimism. Everybody's happy. Missing the number could mean a scramble for survival. Without sales, your business literally has nothing, right? So for this reason, you want sales to be scalable and predictable for your company. And yet, art form is often a phrase used to describe sales. It's an art form. Actually, art is not scalable, nor is it predictable. However, science is. Using data, technology, and a simple repeatable sales process is scalable. The number one mistake made by sales leaders is hiring salespeople with your gut. Hiring rockstar salespeople is the most important aspect to sales success. Yet so many organizations, and I've observed this myself throughout my career, wing the entire hiring process. Every sales model or sales context is different, and thus every company has an entirely different hiring profile depending on their context or their model. Appreciate the uniqueness of your sales context or your model. Establish a theory or a profile of the hiring criteria that will work for you, and be disciplined about scoring every candidate against that criteria. As you bring on salespeople, this process enables you to learn from your mistakes in previous hires and to iterate and hone in on the perfect hiring profile. Mistake number 2, underutilizing the sales compensation plan. The sales compensation plan is the most underappreciated tool in a leader's toolkit. In thinking about incentives that will drive change in sales practices, I personally recall the most effective way to do that with salespeople is by aligning the sales compensation plan with the desired strategic change that you want, that change in behavior or change in habits or the direction in which you want your sales reps to go. Whether looking to enter a new industry, gain market share with a particular product line, or expand into a new geography, the sales compensation plan will be the most effective driver of change. Mistake number 3, misaligning sales and marketing. Traditionally, sales and marketing are 2 groups that have not gotten along. Marketing perceives sales as a bunch of overpaid, spoiled brats, and sales feels like marketing sits around and does nothing but arts and crafts all day. However, in an age with the majority of buying journeys starting online, this dysfunctional relationship is the kiss of death for a company. A properly aligned sales and marketing team is a prerequisite to a healthy business. So quantify the deliverables that marketing and sales should commit to one another. A couple of examples that I've experienced with negative outcomes when sales and marketing are not aligned are, for one, marketing and sales are not in sync with the timing of the go-to-market strategy for new product launches. So for example, sales materials are not ready to support a new product launch by the sales team. Your sales team is out there promoting the product, booking orders, and yet there's no marketing materials. The go-to-market strategy is not aligned and the timing is off. This is the quickest way for a new product launch to fall. If the sales reps don't feel like they have the marketing materials to support those products, what are they going to do? They're going to be reluctant to continue to promote those products and get that new product launched. Marketing is generating leads, but sales is, here's another example. Marketing is generating leads, but sales is not following up to qualify the leads to add to the funnel. Again, this represents a breakdown with the lead generation and lead qualification process. Sales and marketing are not aligned in this case. A lot of wasted energy. Mistake number 4, not planning far enough in advance. For example, it takes 2 months to hire a new sales position, 3 months to ramp them up to full productivity, and a 4-month cycle to close the deal. This situation is not uncommon for a business. If anything, these timeframes may be on the aggressive side. Yet even with these assumptions, it takes 9 months from the decision to hire a new salesperson to the time when they are fully productive. If you are a sales-driven organization, your 2022 results were largely baked in with the team on board and with the team that you had on board in Q1 of 2022. Most of the hiring you are doing now is driving your 2023 results. So you really need to plan ahead in terms of staffing. Sorry, whoops, got ahead of myself here. Another example, your sales team is out there promoting and booking orders for a new product launch, but production has not been given enough time to scale production to meet the new demand. Nothing will kill a new product faster than disappointing customers by not being able to deliver product when the demand is there. So again, planning in advance is very important, and it's often a challenge for organizations to execute on that. Mistake number 5, making forecasting rather than coaching the sales manager's primary focus. Many sales managers spend the majority of their time managing the sales forecast in the pipeline, which is very important. However, this is a lost opportunity sometimes because managers should spend the majority of their time coaching and developing their salespeople. Effective sales coaching increases sales productivity. The best coaches diagnose the 1 or 2 skills that will make the biggest difference in a salesperson's performance, and then will customize a coaching plan to fit that skill or to support that skill. They use metrics to conduct the diagnoses, and I call this process metrics-driven sales coaching. Mistake number 6, motivating through fear rather than metrics. And this is sadly too often the case. I always ask candidates why they want to move on from their current employer. Many of them complain about the fear-based micromanagement of their current environment. This type of what I would say militant management style does not motivate salespeople, especially today's millennial generation. Instead, automate a daily dashboard stack, ranking the team on total dials, total connects, total discovery calls, total demos, total sales, etc. Send the dashboard out every day to the entire sales team and marketing team, and include the head guy, the CEO. And as a result, salespeople will be able to understand where they are gravitating from the success blueprint and self-diagnose the areas in the funnel where they need work. At the end of the day, the salesperson, sales manager, and the company are on the same team. Enabling everyone with the daily metrics will provide the motivation and discipline you desire. Letting new salespeople shadow top performers. This is a very common practice. It's actually one that I have advocated for in the past. However, In this example, welcome to our company, Bob. Do you remember our top salesperson, Sue? For your training, you're going to shadow her for 2 months. The shadowing approach to sales training is neither scalable nor predictable. In my experience, top salespeople are at the top for different reasons. They all bring a unique superpower, if you will, to the table and lean into it heavily. A ride-along training sales strategy may dissuade salespeople from leaning into their superpower. It may also encourage them to pick up bad habits from their peers. Instead, create a sales process. Certify salespeople by quantifying their aptitude with each stage of that sales process. Provide enough detail in the sales process to guide the salesperson, but don't make it too constraining that the salesperson cannot apply their, quote, superpower. Buying technology for management rather than the frontline salespeople. The majority of sales technology purchased over the last few decades has been purchased for the sales leaders to conduct pipeline reviews and manage forecasts, which has been great. But sometimes the end result is the frontline salespeople do not use the software. And that's a big problem, right? Data integrity suffers and the original utility of the purchase is never realized. I've seen this happen. In the last year, we have seen an explosion. In the last years, we have seen an explosion in sales technology that actually benefits the salesperson, like Salesforce. It helps the salesperson sell faster by removing admin tasks and streamlines the process they conduct dozens of times per day. The sales rep is always going to look at any new technology and say, hey, what's in it for me? How's it going to help me achieve my goals? So it helps salespeople sell better by illustrating the full buyer context of the salesperson at all times. So what does that mean? Basically, if I'm getting ready to call a prospect or a customer, I can, in a matter of in the time of 1 or 2 clicks, I can pull up all the data or all the background information I need to prep me for that call. Furthermore, technology that benefits salespeople is the best path towards capturing the data that sales leaders need to run the business. So it all works hand in hand. Not experimenting enough. Every sales context is unique. Every sales model is unique. Who do you sell your product to? How complicated is your product? How expensive is it? Is your product sold direct or through partners? Do most sales originate from inbound leads or outbound calls? Is it 1995 or 2015 or 2022? Varying answers to these questions call for varying approaches to the sale. So you really need to establish a baseline funnel. And for some theories on how to, and then also form some theories or just working together through collaboration on how that funnel could be improved. And from there, devise and execute testing or trials and iterate and improve each time. So the bottom line, great salespeople often follow great strategies and use proven processes, but they are also adaptable and can pivot when necessary to target new prospects and serve new markets, or to serve old markets in new ways. Perhaps above all, great salespeople and great sales teams are constantly evolving, fine-tuning, and learning. They never settle for doing things the same old ways, even if those ways have been seen successful in the past. So let's recap in review. 1, engage this executive leadership to see the value of the sales team. Clearly communicate the business's strategy to the organization. Recruit talent that is a great fit for your organization and your customers. Be sure to screen potential sales candidates for key behaviors and personal skills that you're looking for. Develop your salespeople and sales teams through constant and committed training and coaching. Have a sales process that is simple and repeatable. And finally, use metrics to measure performance. Next steps. If you'd like some help building a world-class sales engine, please connect with us. You can book a call with one of our advisors to discuss your situation or request an information kit for more details about our other services. We have many more webinars planned. Watch your email for future webinar invitations and see the resources tab on our website to get recordings of past presentations. You can call us toll-free. Visit our website or shoot us an email. Contact info is on the screen. Thank you all for attending.